mentioned by the professor about the importance of IT, the complexity of IT. IFRS 17 cannot be solved on an Excel. Many regulators will not allow an insurance company to do IFRS 17 disclosure on an Excel sheet. There is no Indonesia present here. I know that we have the ambassador of Tanzania to Malaysia, not to Indonesia, but I would like to share with you what happened in 2019. In 2019, which is well before 2022 and 2023, in 2019, the Association of Insurance Companies in Indonesia requested from the supervisor to extend the implementation of IFRS 17 to 2025. At that time, in 2019, it was supposed to be implemented by 2022. It wasn't even talked about 2023. It was about 2022. Even then, insurance companies in Indonesia requested the extension to 2025. This is talking about an insurance body that looked at the standard. It took them from 2017 to 2019 to look at the standard, and they realized it is impossible for that industry in Indonesia to implement by 2022. They requested an extension to 2023. And they are a country that are under the jurisdiction, I don't know what they call it, under IFRS. So they have to use IFRS. And the regulator had to issue an extension. Here I'll show you countries in different parts of the world that have given extension to the insurance companies globally in their country. This extension applied only to privately insurance companies in these countries. No regulator can change the deadline for publicly listed companies. That is something, because that is traded companies across the world. So this is something I want to leave the African community to think. Either I spoke just 4 days ago to the regulator in Zambia. I'll be speaking tomorrow morning to the regulator in Uganda. So we hope very much that the regulators understand why the extension is needed. Now, I will tell you the cost of non-extension. We don't have enough actuaries. And I loved the contribution, the 2-3 contributions that our commissioner did yesterday, and especially thanking the insurance companies by name, the reinsurance companies by name, the brokers by name. He didn't even mention actuaries. And I'm very sad with you. So, although actuaries are the spice of the industry, but because you've been dormant, you've been sleeping for decades, not using actuaries, this is why we are sidelined. And all of a sudden you woke up and you have to have actuaries. Now, I would like to show you that although we have 70,000 actuaries in the world, and the 70,000 actuaries, they operate under what we call full member association of their jurisdictions. In Africa, there are only 6 associations that are full member of the IAA. Only 6 associations that are full member of the IAA, and you see the 2 largest ones are Kenya and South Africa. However, we have 8 associate members of the IAA. Associate members are members that have not provided 3 important elements to become full member. First element is minimum educational level. Second is code of conduct. Third is the disciplinary process of their members. So we have 8 associations that are in the associate member of the IAA, and we are working, and I am a member of the Advise and Assist Committee at the IAA. We are trying to get this association to become full member of the IAA. Hopefully by that time, we have enough action. Here, and this is not an advertisement, this is something to put you on the spot. We, as Muhanna Foundation, which is part of the Muhanna Group, decided, not yesterday, but earlier this year, that we will finance actuarial students at the countries that are listed here. Most colleges and universities that are graduating actuarial students in Africa are not to bring them to a position where the regulator will accept their qualification. Most regulators in Africa, especially in Anglo-Saxon Africa, they need actuaries that are qualified from the Society of Actuaries in America or the Institute of Actuary and the Faculty of Actuaries in the UK, roughly speaking. To bring Tanzanian student actuary to qualify, in our opinion, they should start taking actuarial exams when they are still at the university. These students don't have money. Exams are very expensive. So we decided as Muhanna Foundation, we pay 50% of every student in these countries that will be taking actuarial exams. Moreover, after they start being employed, if their employer does not pay for their exam, we are willing to pay for their exam even they are working for a competitor of ours. This is very important to get the profession up on its feet. And this message is to shame you, to make all the insurance industry realize you want actuaries, you have to pay for their education. You want actuaries, you have to give them actuarial educational time. So this message is very important, and I really hope each one of you that would like to discuss an actuarial program, what do we need to bring an actuary? It takes 7 years to qualify an actuary after his undergraduate degree. So you are talking about a long process. So to get a qualified actuary, you have to wait. If he is entering or she's entering university today, you expect to have 10 years. And to tell you more, out of a class of 40 that enter today, only 10 continue to study actuarial science. And out of the 10, 3 qualifies. This is worldwide. And talking worldwide, unfortunately, we have the wrong cohort. Because I spoke to the president of the Society of Actuarial Students in Zambia just a few days ago. I told him, why are you studying actuarial science? He said, I love mathematics and I love money. I told you I will never hire you. You are in the profession for the wrong purpose. When I showed you the definition of an actuary, I clearly said an actuary should be a social mathematician. We have to look at the public interest. Unfortunately, the Americans sold the idea that actuaries are highly paid to attract people to study, but they attracted people that love money. In conclusion, I would like to say, yes, there are consultants, and the consultants are busy. This is the criteria for you to use a consultant for an IFRS 17, and this is another criteria that we put in regarding engines. There are many, many engines in the market, and who listened to me last time in Zanzibar, the longer it takes you to buy, the cheaper the engine is. But the only time you can delay buying an engine is if the regulators give you an extension. If the regulator gives you a 1 year, 2 year extension, my advice to you, don't buy an engine tomorrow, because you're paying a lot of money. Engines are, you have tons of engines, and many, 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 many more. And I put you a scoring mechanism, how to score an engine before you buy. But I assure you, what was being sold 3 years ago, right now is sold for 20%, 80% discount. Because at that time, nobody knew how to create an engine. Now there are tons of engines in the market, and it's very important to decide when to spend the money, based on when does the regulator tell you you must crack out your financial based on IFRS 17. So here I would urge the regulator in the room to give an extension till at least 2025 to allow companies to create actuaries, to know the accounts, to buy a system, and to understand where they are going. Thank you very much.